Hello and welcome back to another tutorial from Hummingbird Alters. This time we're going to talk about drop shadow, how to make it look like the subject that you're painting is floating above the text box and then casting a shadow onto that text box. I have been trying to do this, I think, unsuccessfully for years. And I finally cracked how to do it, so I'm going to teach you what I figured out to make a really nice, just like translucent black shadow on anything. What we're going to use are two things. We're going to use a black airbrush color. So this one is going to be a color index BPK7. Rating 1 as my lightness. So this is going to be not super translucent, but this is what I had. I had an airbrush for a while. I was trying to do this exact same effect with an airbrush. And then I just figured out that the inks that they use are so much better to use with a brush. So we're going to use airbrush color, black. We're also going to use an airbrush reducer and extender base. These two I found on Amazon, super easy to find. We're going to mix both of these together onto a clean penny sleeves. So I send all my cards out internationally. I just put a penny sleeve on everything. And then, you put in your top loader, package it up real nice, but I have a million brand new penny sleeves. That's what you're going to want to use. You're going to shake these little guys up. What I do is I have one dot of the black airbrush ink. And then we are going to kind of just give it a good amount of the extender. And then I'm going to take this and mix. You want to make sure it's fully mixed together. You'll see that there's kind of like, it doesn't want to separate, but you just want to keep on mixing until it's totally mixed together. So when you let it go like this, you're not going to see a bunch of striations, and it's not going to look like two things trying to mix together. Like one black right here. I am going to take my brush. I'm going to do a really big shadow on this one. And I'm going to make sure there's just a little bit on there. I'm just going to brush it right on there. I am using what is this? A 5 round. The 5 round is what I've kind of been using as my biggest brush to be using on any altar. So we're going to, you don't have to be perfect. Again, if you do this perfect on the first try, it's good for you, but you can erase as much of this that you did not put on correctly the first time, which is awesome. Also, you can go over onto the art and erase it that way as well. Once you wait just a second, if you're on an even surface, which you should be, it'll just come together and look very uniform, very even all the way through. That's literally it. What I'm going to do now is once it dries, you can take a brand new toothpick or I've been saying to make one of these in every single tutorial I do. You see the edge of that? It's just this cut off, 3 round junk or past its prime paintbrush, and you just cut off the end. You don't have to make it look pretty, because this is just going to be like your scraping away tool. So once this dries, I can scrape away this top up here, scrape away the side over here, and then anything else that does not make your drop shadow look perfect, scrape those away as well. But this is going to be literally perfect right there. I am going to, if you paint over this solution, it will kind of separate your paints a little bit, so I don't suggest painting over it. If you do have to paint over it, you don't want to scrape it away or brush it away, then you're going to have to make an extra pass. Like, you're going to see once you paint over it, it's not going to be fully, you're not going to get all the coverage that you're looking for. So once this completely gets done, I will then be able to just, because this is the first thing I do on every card. I am trying to take this drop shadow and that is going to give me exactly the idea of where this ledge is going to come out. And I don't need like any distance between it. I want it to look very close to this text box. There's a lot of ways you can use a drop shadow that's better than this. This is just the way that you can paint on something translucent, dark, and it's so easy and so cheap. I mean, those bottles were $5-6 each. I use a drop from the black. I mean, I can probably, that $11, $12 I spent is going to last me maybe a year. So great investment, great way to make these drop shadows. It's been something that has been a staple of my art for a while. It makes the text box look like it's in the background, not the foreground, if that's what you're going for. And also, for me, if anything goes over the text box, I want it to be completely believable. There's actually something that I forgot. So I'm going to use my smaller brush here. I'm going to give this guy a little one right here. And if you see, what I'm doing right here is it's too big. You don't care about how big it is. You just care about how dark it is. So I just took it and kind of like brought it down a little bit. So this might be a little too big, but once it dries, which takes about 2 or 3 minutes, I am just going to use my my scraper to kind of scrape it away. Yeah. This is all wet over here and it's drying really nice. I think that's, you know, now that I'm looking at more, I want to put a little bit more. Real light, and kind of just match it up here. And pull it down. Make sure you're matching how thick the initial one you put on there was. And just pull it all together. I think that's gonna look way better. That's all gonna dry the same color. And this is just like this really awesome accidental tutorial piece that I have found to share with you. And as I keep painting every single day, I'm going to learn more tricks and I'm going to send them right to you. Thank you for watching. This has been Drop Shadows. I'm going to be trying to put out as many tutorials as I can when I have something actually interesting to say. I'm not going to make it a weekly thing. I don't know what to say. When I figure something out, when I refine down a technique, when I understand how to alter better, I will make a video and teach everyone else. Have a great day.